There's definitely been no sound on my video. I can't hear you either.
There's definitely been
Oh,
no
there you
sound
go.
on my video.
Oh my God. A whole 20 minutes.
I can't hear you either. Oh, there you go.
Oh man. I don't even remember what I said. Okay. Woo. Okay. So do I just start all over? Okay, I'm gonna try this again. Alrighty, so you guys couldn't hear what I was saying. No, okay. Okay, so it's okay. Okay, so Shakara Richardson. Okay, so I started off this show talking about Shakara Richardson. I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying about. Uh, oh, okay. Dang, so should I just continue? Okay. Okay, so yeah, so what I was just talking about is like they were saying that we should enforce a dress code for like the parents picking up their student the picking up their children from school. And I had seen a video or some photos of this of a lady picking up her child from school. Her bottom was hanging out, her shorts, kind of boobs hanging out on the side, like this real tight spandex type of outfit, everything like that, bonnet on her head and things like that. And it's saying we shouldn't have to teach our children, or we shouldn't have to tell grown women, grown people how to dress coming up to pick up their children. And the reason that is that they lack this type of what I consider common sense. But you know, one thing that my mama always told me was that common sense is not so much, it's not so common. You know, it's a saying that says common sense is not a flower that grows in everyone's garden. And I didn't realize that because I mean, you know, it's called common sense. So you would think it'll be common amongst people, right? But it's not. A lot of people lack common sense, for real. A lot of people lack common sense. And I just don't, I just don't understand how. Oh, hold on, let me reply to this message real quick. I don't even know when she sent it. Yeah, but we shouldn't have to teach, you know what I'm saying, we are tell or put in like a executive order or make a policy. Because the thing about it is even if they make it a policy, ain't nobody, they gonna be mad. Everybody gonna be mad that they even made it a policy, right? It's like, oh, you can't tell me what to do, this and that, right? You can't tell me what to do. And so yeah, I definitely see it being a problem, but it's because we're not raising these generations with with morals and values, right? They don't have no type of sense. And the reason that is because they're getting younger and younger, like having children. Like people are getting younger, having children younger and younger. And so when you're 16 raising a baby, that baby more like your little friend or your little play buddy or something like that, and you're not really raising that child, right? It's like children are just growing up these days. They're not really getting raised, and if they are, they're getting raised by YouTube, music, Coco Melon, TV programs. You know what I'm saying? They're getting raised by everything else except the person that birthed them out or is are responsible for being here, mother or father. Because I'm not putting it on not just one. You know, the mothers are the first teachers of the children. I do feel like women have a more impact on the way children grow up, but a father is important to have in their life. Everybody plays their role. Not saying one is more important than the other. However, one's role begins before the others. Let's say that, because technically your mother, my throat is dry, you're a mother from the time of conception, right? I guess you could say you're a father too, but they're not carrying a baby for 9 months. Oh, little tea. um but you know what I'm saying, and plus children are taught in the womb. The teaching begins in the womb, so they are the first teachers of children. You know what I'm saying? So not saying it's more important than one another, but it's just a little different responsibility when it comes to these morals. That's why it says, when you looking at a woman, remember how we were talking about, have we talked about that yet? I was talking about the if you giving the child the last name. I think we had talked about that already. But what I was saying is, like, even if you I kind of lost my train of thought. Not saying that one is more important than the other. But the mother, it says, so when you're choosing, like when you're having children by these women, like, right? Because see, that's why I was getting at it. It's like, men, they don't hesitate to make a woman a mother, right? There's all these baby mama, baby daddy drama that goes on in the world that we have today. All these broken homes. They don't hesitate to make a woman a mother, but they hesitate to make a woman a wife. And so it's this quote that's going around. It's like, her body and her looks are not going to raise your children. Her mind is, and her, her values and her mindset is what's going to raise your children. And so they're not thinking about that when they are making these women mothers, you know what I'm saying? Because they barely even know the mindset of the woman that they're probably making a mother, especially when they 16, 17 years old. You know what I'm saying? But shoot, the daddy will be 16, 17 years old. That's when it comes to sexual education from the parents, the generation above. But yet, a lot of people don't want to talk about that either. You know what I'm saying? Like that, we don't even teach. We don't even. But that's a whole nother conversation. But we do not teach sex right. We don't, it is not taught the way that it should be taught. It is taught like it is just something. We'll talk about that in another show. But yeah, but that's, they getting younger and younger, having babies and things like that, because they're not properly educated on sex. So then they becoming parents, and now you got the grandparents like, you made that bed, you lay in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to take care of your child, and they shouldn't have to, because they was supposed to be raising you. You know what I'm saying? So they shouldn't have to either, or whatever. But now you got these children that are being raised by, like I said, TV programs, music, YouTube. So basically the internet, society, and society not teaching them no values and morals. Society is trying to confuse the heck out of them. Society wants them to think that they are a they until they can grow up old enough to choose whether they want to be a boy or a girl. You know what I'm saying? That's what society wants to teach them. I heard that crazy stuff. I'm like, what? They don't want to start giving genders on birth certificates, and that they should be referred to as a pronoun as a they until they are old enough to decide whether they want to be a boy or a girl. Are you serious? I mean, that's just gonna cancel out all the gender reveal parties. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no such thing as a gender reveal party, because ain't no gender until the baby chooses what it want its gender to be. Y'all didn't see how crazy that sounds? That type of stuff society want to teach your children. They want them to go to school like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, we cannot. Like, you cannot be just out here letting the TV screen raise your children. And so I was reading to y'all, I was telling y'all that it was a teacher in California, teacher, a high school teacher at that. She talking about high school teacher, claims that Generation Z, which is the generation that in school and stuff right now, because I know I'm a millennial. I think, or am I X? I don't know. I'm one of them, but I ain't Z. I know that for dang show. But it's less educated, more depressed, and without values compared to other generations. That's what I'm saying. Less educated. Why? School ain't important. ain't nobody telling them that they, they can go to school because their parents is probably 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 and didn't want to go to school they still. So, it is what it is. And school is not relevant to what's going on in the schools and stuff today. It's not really relevant to keep the children interested in what to hold their attention. And then especially when it comes to our children, our public schools don't really cater to who we are to be able to express and that creative portion or to bring out of us like what should be being brought out of a child. Like they don't cater to those type of things. They want to put us in a box. And so that box limited us from our ability to break outside of it and be what it is and discover yourself how you really should be discovering yourself, at those ages. Okay, I guess we can start back off with this when we come back because I'm pretty sure I probably still need to take a break. Yeah, so we're gonna take a break. I ask that you guys bear with me. Take this time to like, share this video if you have not, and I'll be right back.
Hello from KUAW.org, Kansas City, Missouri. My name is Carl Boyd. I have the pleasure of hosting a program on KUAW.org every Saturday from 1 until 2 p.m. for American veterans and American students. Our veterans come on and motivate our students. Our students come on and say thank you to veterans by talking about excellence in school. We ask that you join us promoting excellence among our students, saying thank you to American veterans, and enjoying our progress as we welcome American students back to school and we encourage them to excel in honor of our veterans. The name of the program, Wave Your Grades, every Saturday, 1 until 2 p.m., right here on KUAW.org.
All right, thank you guys for bearing with me while I took that short break. I just wanted to again, if you have an event or a business that you'll like sponsor here on KUAW, make sure to email us at KUAW985@gmail.com. And don't forget to like and share and subscribe to our pages. Okay. So we was talking about this quote from Generation Z, talking about Generation Z, right? So they said that Generation Z, oh, what in the world? Okay, so they said that Generation Z, so we just addressed the less educated part, right? School not being important, everything like that. That's the less educated part. So then it says more depressed. I feel like, what is that? Uh, I feel like the more depressed part of it comes with the amount of confusion and everything that is put onto our children. Of course, they give them all these options and fill their head with, mental illness and things like that. See, I don't even know. I couldn't even think of a reason why a child would be depressed. Even, I mean, all the way up to the teenage shoot. If you ain't got bills, I don't see where the depression coming from. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have no bills to pay, why are you depressed? If you don't have to worry about no putting gas in your car, you ain't got to worry about feeding yourself, you ain't got to worry about housing yourself. Why would you have any other reason to be depressed? Like you're just, or maybe you don't have no friends, you know what I'm saying? But if you don't have no friends, you got to evaluate yourself and see what it is about you that people don't, that is not friendly. Because obviously, if you don't have no friends, nobody is your friend. Like I got two, you know what I'm saying? Like if nobody is your friend, you got to evaluate yourself, and you got to be real enough with your children to tell them this. Are they mean? Are they are they likable? You know what I'm saying? How's your personality? You can't do that. Do you have an attitude problem? Like these conversations that you got to have. I remember telling my little sister all the time, you're not going to have no friends with that type of attitude. You need to fix your attitude, because ain't nobody just gonna want to be dealing with you or be around you or be anywhere near you with no funky attitude. You gotta tell that to girls a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because you do. You gotta tell that to girls a lot. So maybe they be depressed because they ain't got no friends. But then I'm be the mama, you don't need friends. Shoot, friends don't do nothing but get you in trouble. Okay, you do not need friends. You will be all right. Like that ain't no reason to be depressed. Go play with your brother. Like that's what you got siblings for. They born friends, okay? Like, and if you're an only child, oh well, you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just look, you just gotta take you gotta learn how to talk to these children and really help and cope with the things that they're going through, because there's no way they should be depressed. Like, ain't no way that you should be looking at a child and say, oh, that child is depressed, they need to go see a therapist or the mental. No, that's we're lacking in something in the parental box. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't no way. I tell people all the time, it's like one reason that you know, I've waited so long to have children, which I had children when I was 25, they passed, you know. But anyway, my whole thing, even during that experience, you know, was I don't want to raise a child that has to recover from their childhood. I want to raise a child that remembers their childhood. You know what I'm saying? Like I think about myself and I think back. I remember birthday parties. I remember going to Disneyland. I remember going to Granny's house out of town for the summer. You know what I'm saying? I remember being with my cousins and swimming pools and boys and girls club and Girl Scouts and you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Shoot, I even went to summer camp one year. Like I actually went to summer camp like 3 years in a row. You know what I'm saying? Like, but in the summer, but that's because my mom like, y'all not just gonna sit around the house, you know what I'm saying? Like you gonna go to summer camp, you know? But it's things like that I remember about my childhood. I don't remember, I don't have no memories of being raised off like survival, you know, of sitting in a house with no lights or eating bread for dinner. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the type of traumatic, like your mom feeling abandoned, you know, because your mom just didn't left you in the house for 3 days or something like that, you know, like a lot of the trauma being like a lot of trauma that, you know, people go through, or trauma that your mama then came up to the school in her dang bonnet and t-shirt and panties on, you know what I'm saying, just being embarrassed, you getting bullied at school and stuff like that or whatever. Just a different type of trauma that children go through. You know, I guess if you have a hard enough life, you can be depressed as a child. If you ain't got nothing to eat, if you don't know whether your lights are gonna be on in the morning, if you don't know whether it's gonna be something to eat when you get home from school, you don't know if your mama gonna be there when you get home from school or something like that. Like, you know, if your mama on drugs or something, you really just like a struggling child on survival, then yeah, that can be depressing. But that's why we have to do better with choosing who we are procreating with. And goes back to bring it full circle, even though y'all didn't hear this in in the beginning of the show, but I'm just saying we cannot have all these broken homes, you know? It's like it's not men, you know, they're choosing to make women mothers and not making them wives, so they don't have no family, right? So then you have the chance of a child growing up with those type of traumas, being depressed because mama trying to work 3 or 4 jobs just to put some food on the table because the daddy then out gone somewhere or whatever, can't get the daddy to help, you know, like whatever, like all the type of stuff that people go through today, don't know who the daddy is, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever it may be, you know, that stuff is traumatic. And so I'm saying we need to have a more conscious state or a more conscious sense of the children that we are raising into these next generations, because if they talking about Generation Z, like they talking about them right now, they said they less educated, depressed, and don't have no values, morals. I say values with morals, but when you say value, they don't have no value for life. They don't have value for other people because they're not taught to love their neighbor. They're not taught to not kill, not steal, not hit. You know what I'm saying? All they see is people dying left and right on the TV. Can't trust the police, can't trust nobody. They get raised like, you know, don't trust nobody or whatever type of mentality, you know? So they getting raised like that. They growing up like that. Just imagine what their children are going to be like. Think about that. I don't know what generation is after Z, but think about what their generation is going to be like. What type of children are they going to raise? You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of stuff, because these are the type of the children that they're going to raise are going to be the children that's benefiting off the seeds that we're planting today. Everything that we do is going to go up in smoke because we got a generation of people that don't know what to do with it. They ain't been taught common sense to know how to handle it. We mess around and be back in slavery. I'm just saying, like, what in the world? What? Because they not gonna be owning no businesses. They less educated. They don't have no sense. They don't have no value. They not thinking about, they don't have no, you know, values or whatever. They not thinking about generational wealth. They not thinking about preserving their land or preserving their world. They not even worried about that because they're selfish and they've been taught and grew and raised to not care about anyone else but themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because that's another thing, that's what it is. It's like the children, you know, the generation of children are really selfish. They're selfish. When you do the things that you do, there's certain things that you can do that are just very, very selfish. And it's to yourself, because it's like you don't care about anyone else. You know what I'm saying? Being totally like drunk and driving. Selfish. You're not thinking about nobody else on the road. No, don't skip somebody hitting you. What about who you hit? You can mess around and kill somebody. You know how many people then got manslaughter from driving drunk because they hit somebody and they killed them? You know what I'm saying? Selfish. That's selfish. Killing somebody because you didn't got into a fight at the club. So now you're going to shoot them up. You're going to shoot up the club. Do you know how many club shootings there is? I live in Houston. It was just one. Somebody died. 6 people got shot. Why? Selfish. Because somebody got into a fight and they couldn't take the fact of what the way that the fight turned out. But they're not thinking about nobody else. You're not thinking about the children of the person that you just killed. Now they fatherless. You're not thinking about the mother of the person, the wife of the person, anything. Nobody else connected to that person. That's selfish. That is selfish. You're not even really thinking about what can happen in retaliation to you and your family by going out and doing some stuff like that. Because the thing about it is, people think just because don't nobody know that you did it and everything like that, God see everything. You can't hide anything from God. He's all seeing. He knows your thoughts before you even say it. He might even know your thought before you think it. I don't know if that's even possible, but I'm just saying, like, you don't even have to speak it for God to know it. He know your heart. Like, he know your mind. He know what you're thinking. You can't outsmart karma. You can't outsmart the universe. we know that what you put out in the universe is what you get back from the universe. So if you out here just slaying people, that's selfish. You're not thinking about it. You're not thinking about it. You're not thinking about no one else in the situation at all. You got people that, like we was talking about, going around half naked. You know what I'm saying? Selfish. Why? It's my body. I can wear what I want to. Yeah, but what about the little 7-year-old boy sitting at the table that don't even need to be looking at a woman like that because he's 7? Or what about the married woman that her husband, you know what I'm saying? Because temptation is everywhere and he a man. So he probably gonna look, but now you didn't cause the whole problem in these people's household because you don't want to put on no clothes. Selfish. Because it's your body. You know what I'm saying? That's selfish. That's selfish thinking. And it's like selfish, and it's crazy because there's a lot of selfish people out here, right? But you know why? It's because they're not taught universal laws. The first universal law is that we are all one. We are all connected in some way, shape, or form to every single living thing on earth. Everything. It's all connected, right? That's why they say don't kill. I try so hard not to kill bugs, but when they in my house, they gotta go. Like they in my house, they gotta go. Okay, I don't like spiders, and I don't think that spider is thinking that we're all one, so I'm not gonna bite her. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just don't think that spider is thinking like that because spiders don't have the ability in my mind, to reason like that. Only humans do. Right? Spiders are only gonna do what spiders are gonna do, right? So the spider gotta go. And I ain't got to the point, of where I can pick it up and put it outside. Sometimes, I try to, scoot a bug outside or whatever, scoop a bug out the window versus killing it. But depending on what type of situation we in, the bug might have to go. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. However, I know, so when that happens, I say a quick little, forgive me, God. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, gotta ask for forgiveness because in some situation. But I ain't talking about killing another person because you got into a fight. You can't kill another person because you got into a fight and then be like, God, forgive me. No, I don't think it worked like that. I don't think you can repent like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it, I don't just look. I'm just saying. So if we all had a thing, if we had a sense of all the connectivity that we have, and even the connection that we have to a higher power, and how everything has a connection to the higher power. And so when you harm something, a living creature, you're really harming the higher power. You know what I'm saying? That might go over a lot of people's heads though, because we're so taught that God is outside of us, and you got to pray through him, and you got to go through people to get to him, and it's just like he's just so far removed from self. So until you can really put that back into a real position, a real thinking of the real capacity of how it is, you know what I'm saying? The energy, like I said, us being all connected, everything like that. Once you can really get that back into your mind, like I said, the first universal laws are so important, and I cannot understand why universal laws are still not a part of the school curriculum. Like, I really do not get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand that. I don't understand how it ain't part of science. Like, it is what it is. Maybe because science, I guess they feel is something that can be proven through experiments. I think that's basically the definition of science, something that can be proven through experimental value or something like that. I almost cussed, my bad. But I think it's something or whatever like that or whatever. So, that's why a lot of people that believe in science don't believe in God, because you can't prove that. Like, you can't experimentally prove that, God exists. That's something that you got to have faith in. And it's either you got it or you don't, right? So that's why a lot of atheists try to use science to back up, their ideal of there not being a higher power, because you cannot see it, you cannot feel it, you cannot prove that it exists. But I bet you if you cut your oxygen off for a certain amount of time, that energy gonna leave your body. Okay. So well, yeah, prove that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just it is what it is. You know, it's something that created you. It's something more that then created you than just, you know, you got here somehow, right? And that's well, whatever. That's totally different. That's totally different subject or whatever. But I'm just saying. So I'm trying to think. I don't even know how I got there. I mean, all over the place. I don't even know how I got there, but it's cool because I only got 5 minutes left. No, no. So, yeah, yeah. Universal laws. That's what I was talking about. I don't understand how the universal laws haven't, you know, been taught in school or why they're not part of the curriculum. Because when you don't have those certain type of universal laws, then you lack certain values, which we are seeing in Generation Z. They don't even have no respect for elders. They don't. They will say anything in front of an elder. They will act like an elder is not even there. They don't want to give up their seat. They ain't letting them on the elevator. Like they don't have no respect at all. Cuss, use any type of language or you know what I'm saying? Anything. I didn't check when my mom was alive. I would check somebody if I felt like because I feel like it's disrespectful. And you're not gonna disrespect my mama in front of me. Period. I don't care who you are. You're gonna get checked, and I'm gonna tell you about yourself. It ain't gonna happen. You know, I do the same thing with my daddy. I don't cuss around my daddy. Ain't nobody else about to be around me my age or younger cussing around my daddy. Don't talk like that around my daddy. I don't care what you do in front of your parents, but you're gonna respect mine. And that's the type of attitude that we really need to have out here for these children or anything like that. Because trust and believe, any of my elders with me, they ain't never going to have to worry about it. Because I'm going to check it if I see it. Excuse you, pull your pants up. I would tell a young man to pull his pants up. I don't care who. I don't even got no, excuse me. Hello. Hey, what's your name? Pull your pants up. Why you got your pants all the way down to your ankles? Don't nobody want to see your booty hanging out. Nasty. Well, I don't even know where they got that from, but do you know what it is? When they're younger, they mother, because she young, dressing them like a little thug, you know what I'm saying? Thinking that that's cute. Thinking that that's how they're supposed to dress or whatever. So then they grow up dressing like little thugs and just run around here looking like a whole bunch of, N-words. I almost said it, but I didn't. But that's exactly what they are. That's exactly what we're creating. That's exactly why Generation Z is getting looked at the way that they are because we didn't embrace being an N-word so much that now that's what you really see. When you see us, that's what you see. A whole bunch of ignorant, which means without knowledge. Ignorant ain't got that. Ignorant just means without knowledge individuals. Because you can't be smart. You can't have knowledge. You walking around with your pants way below your waist. I mean, they ain't got to be right up on your waist, but they ain't got to be under your butt cheeks either. Then you got the nerve to have a gun on your side. Boy, you can't even get to the gun. It's out of your hand range because your pants so dang far. Your pocket down there by your ankle, you can't even get to the gun. Everybody can see the gun because again, and then don't be in a situation where you need to run. Nah, baby. You getting caught. Don't run. Don't let no dog run up on you because you getting caught. Okay. If you gotta run in that situation, you tripping and falling, you ate up. Okay. Because listen, you can't be running, holding your pants up, then you can't move your arms. Part of your speed when you run, it goes with your arms. You can't, if you holding your pants, what you doing? Like, you ain't gonna go fast. You is not going you going nowhere fast. Like, that's exactly what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're caught. But we're not teaching them that. But they see it in the videos. They see it on the TV. That's how they want to dress. I'm quick to tell somebody, pull up your pants. You know what I'm saying? Like, quit looking like that. But we got to be a generation of these people. Now, granted, I know some of these little thugs, you be like, I might say something to him, he might shoot me. Like, no, but for real, like, especially Kansas City, the Texas, the Wild Wild West now, you don't even need no license, nothing. 18, you can go get a gun. Like they don't care. You can go get a gun. So yeah, like it's just, it's crazy. It's crazy. And but we're the one raising them. We're the ones responsible. That's where that accountability comes in. Because they can't sit up here, they wouldn't be able to sit up here and talk about these generation of children. You know what I'm saying? If we had raised them better, if we had taught them better, we talk about the village. People always like, nah, I don't want nobody to say nothing to my child. I don't care who child it is. I'm gonna say something to them if they in my presence, because if they in my world, they my child too. We all connected. Sure. So that is something that they gonna do can affect me if they in my energy. If they in my energy field where I can absorb whatever it is that they got going on. So if that's the type of situation that we in, then we just gonna have to have some words, because I'm gonna say something to your child. And if you got a problem with me saying something to your child about them pulling their pants or being respectful to elders or anything that's on a moral value, then me and you need to have a conversation, because you need to be checked about your moral values and what you're teaching your children or what you're allowing your children to do. You know what I'm saying? You cannot know. That's the thing. And we always scared to say something. Don't be scared to say nothing. Tell your sister that she need to do better with your nephew. You know what I'm saying? Tell your friend that ain't cute, girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let her take accountability, take some responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Say something. Don't be scared. That's what they mean by take a village. Dang, my time is up. I just be getting going and going. So real quick, the Holy Covenant Asiatic Nation. I appreciate you guys listening to me. All that. So, ye are the children of one Father, provided for by his care, and the breast and what mother have given you suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with our brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house. And when you separate in the world, remember the relation that bondeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before their own blood. If thy brothers in adversity, assist him. If thy sisters in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy Father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. Peace.